Hello, I'm Tato Cat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Kika Voices. Previously, we decided to make little paper torches, which has served us pretty well. But we were going on and on. We couldn't find the shore, and then we see it, and now we're kind of in a predicament where we're on like the skinny part of the bridge, and they're coming for us and all that. And yeah, let's see if we survive this and how we're gonna get out of this one. Let's continue. Margaret nods, slightly baffled. The two of us start to sprint down the narrow bridge, while the Nixie swim around, distracted by the flames. Once the previous batch of lights have burned out, I ignite the rest of the papers in my hands and toss them collection of flames into the lake. That is the last distraction we'll get. We force our feet to go even faster as the sounds of sloshing water and unearthly murmuring grow closer to our heels. I gasp loudly as the bridge below us suddenly lurches to the side. The two of us brace against each other to steady ourselves as the bridge slowly tilts back into place. We gulp as we eye each other. This was not something we had prepared for. The bridge can't hold weight properly. If we step out of line, it could break. Yet, we aren't afforded even a moment's reprieve as the sounds of the Nixie break through the haze of racing thoughts. We advance down the bridge, this time more aware of how we place our footing. Our quick pace means some mistakes are inevitable. The bridge starts to tilt again, and eager eyes look up at us from right below the water line. Oh, they're just waiting underneath? Harsh. It bends towards the water, the waiting hands of Nixie, and I pull Margaret back while leading my weight to the opposite side. In a small miracle, the bridge is able to even back out. I realize I released the breath I had been holding. Before the monsters can make a move on us, we push ahead. Finally, the boards start to widen out again. Margaret relaxes her shoulders as they stop needing to brush against mine. My heart pounds from the adrenaline that fought against the need to move slowly and carefully despite the insane danger. The chorus of whispers increases as we get out of easy reach. Whoa, that could have gone bad. The view of the shore draws steadily closer as we go down the path ahead. As it does, the light of the sun starts to barely peek over through the heavy fog. Margaret says something. It's too quiet for me to hear what it was, and I don't have the breath to ask her to elaborate. I'm running incredibly low on energy by this point, and I can tell from the way that Margaret is panting. She too is very tired. And then a dull thud vibrates through the boards.
Margaret?
Did she pass out? You can't pass out. The things are going to go underwater when the sun comes up. No passing out. I slide to stop on the slick bridge and turn to face behind me. Margaret is on the ground. I don't waste even one moment before going to her side.
Are you alright? Can you stand? We have to move.
No, I can't keep running anymore, Kika. It's too much. There's nothing out there. There's never been anything out there. You can go by yourself.
That was not the time, Margaret. See, the sun, water rises, all that jazz. Margaret, my heart sinks at her words. Suddenly, our urgent situation seems much less important. I crouch down to be at her level. She bites back tears and tries to push me away.
I know you understand better than most that you can't force someone to do something. I can't do that here, but I can ask if you truly want this.
I rest my hand firmly on her shoulder.
Margaret, you can make it. We can make it. Even if we don't know what's at the end of this path, we can see it with our own eyes.
My voice starts to shake, and I barely get out one last sentence.
I don't want to go if you're not there with me.
Margaret looks up at me. Through the tears, she's scared, but there's no longer a look of resignation. Still trembling, she starts to rise. I stand with her, a reserved smile forming. Once on her feet, Margaret takes some deep breaths, trying to calm the panic inside her. She looks at me, fiercely and nods. She's going to come. Tears of my own start to fall. I offer her my hand. Margaret takes it without hesitation. We start to run again, and this time we do not stop. We cannot stop. The ever so slowly moving sunrise, our final chance to make it through this nightmare. My fists are curled tight as we run our lungs burning from the sharp, humid air. Yeah, I said that right. Cool. We keep pushing and pushing with nothing but a stubborn refusal to accept this as the end, carrying our feet until eventually we make it! Yes! We made it! My cat's judging me right now. Look at that. Look at this beautifulness. The shore. There's a tree. We're saying bye, bridge. You know, it's cool. The sun is coming. We practically burst to the shore, rushing onto the solid ground and nearly collapsing. We both managed to distance ourselves from the waterline a decent amount before we earnestly crumpled to the ground and tried to study our erratic breathing. Tears form in my eyes and flood onto my cheeks. We made it. Against all odds, we finally made it to the other side in one piece. I look towards Margaret fondly. It fills me with joy that we both are here, just as I believed we could be. She's smiling. After a moment of rest, I force myself off of the ground weakly and stand on quivering legs. I face Margaret again, and this time she locks eyes with me. Margaret pushes herself up and scrambles towards me. She moves in such a hurry and on such unstable legs that she manages to get tangled in the hem of her skirt and tumbles. We're close enough that I'm able to catch her before she hits the ground. I support her as she straightens her skirt out. I'm deeply grateful that I'm able to be here for her. She smirks at me, and I have to assume she's thinking about how my behavior makes me truly a typical guard. Oh, I got an achievement there. So I've been getting achievements and I haven't been like noticing the thing because it appears here, but I'm not really looking up there most of the time. so I've been missing them. I've been getting quite a few achievements actually. It had a heart on it. I didn't read what it said though. But suddenly, we're embracing. A giddy laugh bubbles up from her and she buries her face in the crook of my neck. She hugs me tightly. Oh, look how cute. And she never set her shawl on fire. I certainly would have. Like I said, it's just expendable. But suddenly, we're embracing. Did I read this? Oh. Yeah. I can't keep the blissful smirk off my face. And a new waterfall of tears spills down. Margaret lifts her head from my shoulder and gazes into my eyes. Neither of us let go. As we stay in place and drink in the sight of each other, our foreheads brushing lightly as we relish in the joy of our being alive together. So did we get to find out what happened to Lou in the guide? I hope so. A noise beside us brings me out of the moment. I frantically turn to see where it came from. Then, the disturbance is enough to immediately shoot the tension back up. Oh, what now? It's the guide! Okay. He stands alone. Oh no! He stands alone. Oh, poor Lou. My eyes immediately widen at the sight of him. I prepare to speak, however, he beats me to the chase.
Both of us reached the other side. Lou has left. Even remaining near the shore is exceedingly dangerous. Everything that transpired would have been wasted had I allowed something to happen while waiting for your arrival.
Thanks, the guide. So Lou is safe, cool. How we know? I'm still curious about the guy. I just feel like he's a very interesting character. He's very mysterious. I want to know more about him. He doesn't even have a name. My jaw closes and I'm hesitant for a moment. Truthfully, it feels at least somewhat suspicious. Still, the guide has never hidden painful, tru- painful truths. Painful truths. Thank you, brain. From us. If Lou had died, it seems more likely the guide would unceremoniously inform us. I allow a wave of relief to wash down my spine at the thought that Lou is somewhere out there alive. After a moment of processing my emotions, I look up to the guide and nod at him.
It is time to leave this place. There is nothing left for you here.
Upon being addressed by him, I rise to my feet. He has a calm look on his face, though there's force behind his serenity. I open my mouth in an attempt to speak. However, I quickly realize I have little idea of what to say. He left us behind, but it did indeed lead to success. Must I admit that forsaking others is correct? Or was that not truly the only way? And then the fog is removed from my thoughts. After everything that has happened, it becomes clear. I harden my face to match his serious disposition. There's something he is certainly right of. This lake isn't a place to linger. Going round and round in circles will never help. We cannot submit our lives or our minds to Sinlos. What I must do, if I truly want to defend others, is keep them from coming here at all. When I return to my village, I intend to make that information acutely known to our elder. For that to happen, we must leave.
Goodbye.
His eyes narrow as he looks over me. I begin to feel uncomfortable and under his scrutiny. But for a moment, I could swear I noticed him smiling slightly. However, It could easily be a trick of the morning sun. That is a smile. Margaret steps over to us and regards the guide with a pointed expression.
This will be goodbye for us as well. I appreciate the opportunity you've graced me with. However, I won't be returning here.
The guide offers no reaction to her statement. In fact, he says nothing at all. Instead, simply turns on his heel and leaves us alone once more. We make no attempt to stop him, watching him silently as he disappears into the landscape. It is painfully clear that no matter how meaningful this is for us, it is only another day in his life. Once the guide fully departs, Margaret frowns harshly.
This all seems so terribly sad.
I peer at her empathetically and reach over to her hand. I take it in mine, tenderly. She looks down at our joined hands and then at me and manages a bittersweet smile. I regard the lake again. It is isolated and desolate. The mist still covering the surface like a suffocating rag. My thoughts darken as memories of Bimile come flooding in.
Kika?
Margaret's worried voice beckons me back to the present. I turn my wistful face to determined as I realize that there is still much to accomplish ahead of me.
We can't stay here any longer.
Margaret considers the word with concern. Despite her hesitation, she brings herself to ask a tentative question.
Would it be alright for me to come along?
Of course. The village I'm going to isn't exactly safe. However, you are more than welcome to join me, and I will make certain that you are protected there.
Margaret's lips turn up into a warm smile as she nods graciously.
Thank you. I need some place to go so I can procure a new pair of glasses and a new way to make a living. Besides, you're forcing yourself to act like nothing affects you, and that simply won't do.
So, this episode is going to be longer than usual because if I have a feeling like if I end it here, I'm just going to get an episode that's like 13 minutes long. So, it's just going to be a long one, okay? Hang in with me. Hang in there. You can do it. I believe in you. I blink. Let's try that again. I blink a few times, unsure of how to respond to that. I resign myself to looking away with an awkward smile on my face. Margaret hums a teasing tune as she cracks a grin. Her eyes drift closed for a moment and she grows reflective.
You know, it's very strange. I felt trapped in my own life. It was as if no matter what I did, I was always running in place, and there was no way to escape the small, miserable bubble I existed in.
That's a wonderful thought. Hopefully things are different now. She shakes a glance at me before continuing.
That maze of bridges out there was much of the same, but we found a way out of that miserable place, and there was something for us at the end after all. I wonder if miracles like that can happen in the real world too.
It seems I'm not yet out of tears, as I feel their presence growing.
There is. I'll make sure of it.
Aww. Margaret regards me with a familiar, teasing smile.
Are you still holding on to that idea from the island? Is there anything that can shake that determination of yours?
Of course not. We are Kika, the steadfast. I half chuckle at the question.
I'm sure there has to be. However, I won't allow something that could break it to occur.
Margaret chortles before she grins at me charmingly.
I'm glad. That's something I treasure about you, Kika.
I can't help being a bit bashful. It is so nice to let myself feel how I honestly do. I meet her deep inside her eyes.
It truly is time for us to leave this place.
Margaret's face glows with bravery and a new sort of inner strength.
Yes, let's go.
We turn around and walk away from the lake. Without looking back or stopping, I close my eyes and whisper beneath my breath, soft as a falling leaf, to all those left behind within the lake of Sinlos. I offer one last reverent parting word.
Farewell.
Oh! What is this? Let us read. I hurried to Himmer as quick as I could. I already failed to help another during my journey. I could not afford to fail the villagers. They were grateful to see me, for it was a desperate situation indeed. Their urgency meant that my mind was occupied with other matters. I worked tirelessly to aid Himmer's own guards in forcing back the brigaders. But during the moments of calm and when the sun went down, I would remember the lake. Oh, it continues. Oh, this is much longer than I thought it was going to be. The villagers were alarmed when I arrived on my own, but it did not take them long to guess what must have happened to Bimile. Having to recount the terrible story was almost more than I could endure. I know that it will be even worse when I must tell my fellow guards back home. They deserve to hear the truth from me, regardless of how I feel. After parting Sinlos, after putting Sinlos behind her, Margaret explained where she was originally from, though she has no plans on returning. Despite leaving everything she knew, Margaret boldly looks towards the future. I respect her for her bravery, and I hope for nothing more than the best. Lou never reappeared after walking away that morning. I do not know where he has gone, but wherever he went, I pray that he will live a safe and wonderful life. Perhaps someday we will meet once more. I have not heard nor seen the guide since then. He will remain obscured in that realm of fog and fear. A mysterious light off in the distance that is ever out of reach of the real world. As the task in Himner comes to a close, I mentally prepare myself to return home. I'm all too aware that things can never be as they were. What I know for certain is that my village elder must be told that no one is to cross Sinlos again. I have already told the Himner leader the same. Not a single more person should have to experience what we did. Its darkness will remain with me for the rest of my days. Though so much was lost, I believe that our lessons will keep others from suffering the same way, and in the end, something will be gained. My goodness, so long! Margaret returned to my village after the task at Himner was over. I insisted that she stay with me for a time while she grew accustomed to her new surroundings. While she still liked to tease that all the villagers were the same, she was grateful for the offer. We are working together to find a new career that is better suited for her talents than the one she was pursuing before. And it does not seem hopeless. She has already managed to acquaint herself with the village elder. I believe it won't be long before she finds a place she can fully shine. It is incredible still. It is incredible to still find fulfillment in these small joys, despite the pain and hardship. I will continue to do all I can to protect others, as well as the life I've come to love. Oh, I got a thingy for that. An achievement. Aww. I'm quite pleased with this game. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. This ending is very cute. Read the credits. These people worked very hard. I think this is a free game. Lots and lots of people. Aw, thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. Oh, okay. I really love this game. I love the art and the music. And look, there's a CG gallery. I love the fact that there's a CG gallery. And look, it's just a picture. I don't have to scroll up or down. Sometimes that happens because the picture is too big for like the screen or whatever. I really like the story. I love the fact that every choice meant something. There was nothing that happened where it was kind of a meaningless choice. Although I occasionally do love like a randomly fluff meaningless choice just for the sake of throwing you off. But like everything meant something, and I really like that. Yeah, it's a great game. Everyone should play it. At least try to play it. And even though there's time choices, you can still page up and go back and think a bit before you do things. But yeah. I definitely recommend it. Thank you for sticking with me this long. Hope to see you in the next series. I am Tato Cat. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.